Game Freak have been wanting to make Chimecho broken for years. First they buffed his stats in Generation 7, and now it's got a Mega Evolution. But even though I say this, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Game Freaks decided to buff certain Pokemon in the past before giving them Mega Evolutions. Some examples being Ampharos, Beedrill, and Pidgeot. So what makes Chimecho special? Well, everyone that I just mentioned got their base stat totals increased by 10. Chimecho on the other hand, got buffed by 30 stat points, and it still felt mid. But now it's got a Mega Evolution, and Game Freaks buffed its BST by a further 100. So surely now Chimecho is good. Surely. With Chimecho Mega Evolving, it gains the Steel typing and basically becomes an absolute wall. It only has 65 base speed, but that isn't a problem because Trick Room exists. The only problem is Incineroar counters Chimecho a lot. First of all, because Chimecho's holding its Mega Stone, it can't hold on to other items, such as the Covert Cloak, and I know it's not in the game yet, but once it is in the game, it won't be able to hold on to it. So it's always going to be vulnerable to Fake Out and will virtually never be able to sell Trick Room first turn. The second reason why Incineroar counters Chimecho is, apart from Chimecho just being weak to Fire and Dark, it can't really touch Incineroar with anything. Chimecho's main way of getting damage across is using Psychic, but Incineroar's immune to it. Its second best option is using Hyper Voice, and even though Chimecho's special attack is really good, Hyper Voice isn't stab, and because it's a spread move, it's doing less damage than it usually would. And Incineroar's just very bulky, so Hyper Voice isn't the best option. Apart from that, Chimecho can't really touch Incineroar, and because Incineroar is a very common lead, sending out Chimecho first turn just isn't smart. So instead, we're going to be sending out Spiritomb and Snorlax as our lead. The idea here is we sell Trick Room with Spiritomb, and because it's a ghost type, it won't be affected by Fake Out. And with Snorlax, we just double edge everything we see. And when the time is right, we go into Chimecho and punish the opponent with our monstrous special attack stat. To go over all of Chimecho's moves, we're actually running Shy Shock, not Psychic, in case we fight any Floettes, because they like to use Calm Mind. We also have Dazzling Gleam for in case we fight any Dark types, Recover, and Trick Room in case we have to reset it up later down the match. That's rest of the team as well. One notable mention is Pelipper. The reason why we're running it here is because of Torkoal. Torkoal was a big counter to this team, so having Pelipper with Drizzle is definitely a big help to shut down the sun. But in most cases I like to bring Primarina, just because Liquid Voice Hyper Voice is such a broken combo. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into the matches. Okay, for this match, our opponent sends out Sinistcha and Dragapult. I think we're good to use Trick Room here. Yeah, and we'll use Protect with Snorlax. And yeah. Okay, they use Protect with Dragapult. Okay. Sinistcha does what? Match your gotcha. Okay. Spiritomb easily takes that. Easily. Spiritomb's so tanky, by the way. Like, I haven't seen anyone run Spiritomb yet. I'm in Master Water and I got here without seeing anyone run Spiritomb. And I'm shocked because Spiritomb is so good. Like, unbelievably tanky. And probably a top 3 Trick Room setter in the game right now. And it's just not used. Okay, what we can do is we can use Dark Pulse onto Sinistcha. And then Encore, Dragapult into Protect. Don't know why Snorlax even gets Encore, but it does. Dark Pulse does a lot of damage to Sinistcha. We'll take it. It was a crit, okay. They use Trick Room back. Okay. I don't mind that, I don't mind. What we do here is we just use Trick Room again. And then we use Crunch onto Sinistcha. They swap out Dragapult. And they go into Floette here. I think what we do is we double edge onto Floette. Does Crunch KO from here? Does it? I don't know. It doesn't, okay. And Trick Room goes back up. Okay, there's a chance they use Moonblast onto Spiritomb, and if they do that, we use Destiny Bond. And then Crunch onto Sinistcha. They Mega. Okay. Is it Dazzling Gleam or is it Moonblast? I think we survived Dazzling Gleam, I think. Maybe not. These Protect. Okay, we want Spiritomb to go down. We want Spiritomb ideally to go down here. So then Floette also goes down. Moonblast, there it is! There it is! Guys, I'm telling you. Top 1 Spiritomb. Top 1 Spiritomb. I'm telling you right now, man. Floette. Your time is up. John Cena. GG. Let's go into Chimecho here. They go back into Dragapult. That's fine. I think what we do here is we Mega. We use Dazzling Gleam. And then we use Crunch with Snorlax onto Sinistcha. Okay, cool. Okay. We're in a very, very strong position here to win the game. Crunch. Sinistcha goes down. How much does Dragapult take from Dazzling Gleam here? Dazzling Gleam isn't Stab. But Dragapult isn't that tanky. Probably just the Focus Dash. Probably does have the Focus Dash. Okay. Doesn't get it down to Sash, but does a lot of damage though. Shadow Ball. I think we go down. We don't. We don't. Basculegion comes out. Trickle's up for 2 more turns. I think we just use Dazzling Gleam. And... okay, does Dragapult have... doesn't have Sucker Punch. They used Shadow Ball. Probably, right? Okay, I think we just use Crunch onto Dragapult in case he uses Sucker Punch. They use Protect. No Sucker Punch, really? Wave Crash onto Snorlax. We take that, yeah. Okay. Did they use Sucker Punch here? Probably. Okay, I think what we do is we use Recover. And Crunch onto Dragapult. Yeah. Double Protect doesn't work. No Sucker Punch. I mean, like, I know they used Shadow Ball, so they were leaning more to being a special attacker. But I still would have thought they had, I don't know, like Shadow Sneak or Sucker Punch. But no. Wave Crash, Snorlax goes down. That's fine. Trick Room's gone here. But we have Primarina. And we're basically guaranteed a win here. We can just use Trick Room. And then use Moonblast. And yeah, that should be it. Wave Crash. Onto Chimecho probably. It takes it. It takes it. Moonblast. And Basculegion should go down. Yeah, nice. Honestly, like what I found is that Chimecho performs way better late game. It can work early game, but again, in my testing, late game is where Chimecho thrives, especially when you have to restart with Trick Room again. But anyway though, let's get into the next match. Okay, for this one, our opponent sends out Sneasler and Parizna here. We can use Trick Room. And then Protect with Snorlax, yeah. They use Close Combat onto Snorlax. We are protected. High Jump Kick. High Jump Kick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know. They forfeit. They actually forfeit the match. Okay, you know what? Let's get to the next one. Okay, so they send out Basculegion and Aerodactyl. Let's use Trick Room and Protect. They use Flip Turn. We are protected. Rock Slide. Please don't flinch. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, doesn't flinch. And we use Trick Room. I think what we do is we double into Basculegion. Yeah, Dark Pulse. And we use Crunch onto Basculegion as well. They stay in. Yeah, Crunch does a lot of damage. Dark Pulse as well. Boom, Basculegion is gone. What does Aerodactyl do? Rock Slide again. Okay, maybe it's Choice Scarf Rock Slide. It could be. They go into Charizard here. Yeah, I think we just double into Charizard. We just use Dark Pulse. And Double Edge. Okay, cool, yeah. They Mega. Okay. I didn't bring Pelipper for this one. I probably should have actually. I probably should have. But hopefully we can take care of Charizard within this turn. These Protect. Okay, we can Encore Charizard into Protect next turn. Aerodactyl uses Rock Slide. Okay. Honestly, yeah. Do we just use Destiny Bond? Do we just use Destiny Bond? There's a good argument to just use Destiny Bond here and secure the win. And you know what? I think we do it. I think we do it. And we use Double Edge onto Aerodactyl. Snorlax has Thick Fat, so it will survive Heat Wave. Yeah. They swap out Charizard. Why did they even go into it? What was the point? They protect. What? So Aerodactyl isn't scarfed into Rock Slide. Okay. Over here, what we'll do is we'll use Will-O-Wisp onto Sneasler, and then use Protect with Snorlax. Okay. Will-O-Wisp. They don't use Fake Out at all. They don't. Close combat. We're protected. Rock Slide. Protected. And... okay. It hits Spiritomb. We survive. What we can do is use Trick Room again. Hopefully Rock Slide misses, and then use Double Edge onto Sneasler. Rock Slide doesn't miss. Okay. There was nothing that I really could have done there, because I already used Protect with Snorlax last turn. Snorlax probably goes down to close combat. Yeah, it does. Okay. That's fine. Let's go into Chimecho and Primarina. With Chimecho, let's use Trick Room. And with Primarina, we'll use Protect. Okay, let's see what happens here. Diaclaw. We are protected. They use Tailwind. Oh, I'm sorry to burst the bubble. We use Trick Room. And yeah. Okay, what we can do is we can use Side Shock. Actually, okay, let's use Dazzling Gleam and Hyper Voice in case Aerodactyl has to Focus Dash. Yeah, we're in a good position here, I think. Even though Charizard does have the Sun, we're still in a good position. Hyper Voice. Okay, does have the Focus Dash with Aerodactyl. And Dazzling Gleam should KO from here. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. They go into Charizard and stop the Sun again. We can just use Side Shock and use Hyper Voice. Okay. Hyper Voice does good damage. Side Shock should KO from here. It should. And it does. Very good performance from Chimecho there. And let's get into the next match. Okay, so our opponent sends out Garchomp and Rotom. Once again, we can go with Trick Room and use Protect with Snorlax. Dragon Claw, we survive. Hydro Pump doesn't miss, and we take it as well. Spiritomb is actually look, okay. Spiritomb may be the best Trick Room setter that we have right now in the game. Honestly, it's so tanky. Like, I've used Spiritomb in so many matches, yeah, and like so many matches, and like I can count on one hand how many times it's gone down first turn. It barely goes down first turn to anything. The only thing it really goes down to is Mega Floette, Dazzling Gleam, or like Moonblast. Apart from that, it rarely goes down first turn. And no one's really running Taunt, because there's virtually no Trick Room setters, so there's no reason to run Taunt. Okay, over here we can use Will-O-Wisp onto Garchomp and Double Edge onto Rotom. They swap out Garchomp, and who did it go into? They go into Offworm, Double Edge with Snorlax. How much are we doing here? That's a good amount, that's good. Will-O-Wisp doesn't miss, so now they'll do half the damage with their physical attacks. Rotom uses Will-O-Wisp onto us. Okay, onto Snorlax. That may be a problem. I don't think Rotom goes down to Double Edge next turn. Over here we can use Dark Pulse onto Rotom and Double Edge as well, and hopefully that KOs. Okay, I think Dark Pulse gets rid of Rotom from here. Does KO Rotom. Okay, that's big, that's big. Shed Tail with Earthworm. So who did they go into? Who did they go into here? Garchomp. Trick Room's up for 2 more turns. Let's Dark Pulse onto Earthworm. And then Double Edge onto Garchomp. I would use Destiny Bond, but I don't think Spiritomb goes down this turn. Garchomp avoided it. Oh, is it holding the... It's holding the Bright Powder. It's holding the Bright Powder. Body Press, we survive. Garchomp does what? Oh, well, probably Earthquake, right? Because of Earth Eater. Yeah. Spiritomb takes that. Spiritomb takes that. It does. Yep. Telling you, man. Spiritomb is just too tanky. It can't go down. And over here, guess what? We use Destiny Bond. And Garchomp goes down if he uses Earthquake. Honestly, this is more of a Spirit Team showcase more than Chimecho. I'm trying, okay? I'm actually trying here to show off Chimecho, and Chimecho is good, but Spirit Team is just, I don't know, man. Spirit Team's different. Spirit Team's just different. We can use Double Edge onto Garchomp, try break the sub. I mean, no, let's use Double Edge onto Earthworm. I mean, like, if Garchomp's gonna go down anyway, might as well. They protect. Okay. So maybe they don't use Earthquake? They don't. Okay. Maybe they clocked High Destiny Bomb. Maybe they clocked it. It doesn't really change anything because it's still active here because Trick Room ran away. If you didn't know, when you use Destiny Bond one turn before Trick Room goes away, it carries over to the next turn. So it's either we use Trick Room here or one of their Pokemon go down. We can use Double Edge on Earthworm. They use Dragon Claw on Snorlax. Okay. Does Earthworm even attack at all? It does. Okay, so it goes down here. It doesn't even KO. Guys, what is going on? Why is Spirit Team not going down? Why is it not going down? Okay, let's go to Chimecho. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's use Dark Pulse onto Garchomp. Mega, and then Dazzling Gleam. Dark Pulse. Does it break the sub? It does. Okay, cool. Base Iron Head. And Spirit Team finally goes down. It finally goes down. Destiny Bond wasn't active there. Goes down. But I'm happy with its performance. Dazzling Gleam does good damage to Garchomp. Good damage. These Dragon Claw, we take that. Yep, easy. We're going to Primarina here. And we just use Hyper Voice. With Chimecho, we could use Recover. But let me not get greedy. Let's just use Dazzling Gleam. They use Protect. To reduce Trick Room probably. Hyper Voice. Gets rid of Earthworm from this range. Or it should. Yeah. They go into Tyranitar here. I think that's game. Or like Trick Room's off for what? Like 2 more turns? Yeah, 2 more turns. That's enough. That's enough to end the game. Hyper Voice. Dazzling Gleam. Yeah. Tyranitar special defense is boosted from the Sandstorm. They Mega. But is it enough? Is it enough to win? There's Hyper Voice. Garchomp avoids it because of the Bright Powder. Again? I actually hate Bright Powder. Why is it? What is that? What is that? What is that? What? Oh no, wait. It has Sandvale. It has Sandvale as well, isn't it? Oh my days. Sandvale Bright Powder strats. In Pokemon Champions? Really? We're bringing this to Pokemon Champions? Why? I think we actually lose, I can't lie. I think we actually lose now. That miss, it missing 2 times, actually won them the game. We should have won. We should have won that. They're going to use Protect, like double Protect, and then Trick Room goes away, and then that's it. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. Nothing I can say to that. Yeah, that's just super unlucky, man. Sandstorm's up for 3 more turns. I mean, what I could do is try to stall the Sandstorm. Because again, Tyranitar does have a special defense buff from it. So I could stall it. Or like attempt to anyway. Rock Slide isn't stab. I don't know why you're going for that. Boy, oh my days. It's trying to flinch me. It's trying to hax me out the game. What? Missing twice in a row wasn't enough. And now you want to flinch me to my doom. Do I just use Hyper Voice here? Does Hyper Voice even KO Tyranitar? It should. Does it KO Garchomp as well? Probably not. I think... I have to use Hyper Voice. I have to use Hyper Voice and just like hopefully it crits Garchomp. That's it. That's what I can hope for. Crit on Garchomp. They use Protect. Oh, Earthquake. Okay. Yeah. The crit as well. The crit as well, guys. Okay, we're doing one more. We're doing one more. Okay, for this one, our opponent sends out Hisuian, Goodra, and Lopunny. I think this is probably going to be Scrappy, or like Scrappy Mega Lopunny. And then they'll probably use Close Combat onto Spiritomb first turn. And that probably KOs us. I can't lie, that probably does KO us. But we'll use, I mean, do we use Trick Room? I think we go into Primarina. And then we Double Edge onto Lopunny. It is a bold move, but I think it's likely that they do use Close Combat. There's the Mega. Fake Out. Okay, not Close Combat. But Fake Out would have hit there. Fake Out would have hit. Icy Wind. How much does Double Edge do to Lopunny here though? Does this one shot? It doesn't, but it gets close. I think what we do here is we just use Hyper Voice and then Protect with Snorlax. Okay. Now that Return isn't in the game, what's Lopunny's strongest normal type move? I actually have no idea. Goodra uses Hyper Voice. We are protected. Doesn't do too much to Primarina. That does a lot of damage to Goodra. Oh wait, it's Zoroark. Oh, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. They go into Sinistcha here. Over here we can use Protect. And we can use Crunch onto Zoroark. These Protect. Okay, okay. Matcha Gotcha. Snorlax takes this, yeah. I think we just Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice. And then Crunch onto Zoroark. They swap out Zoroark. And they go into Goodra. Okay. Matcha Gotcha again. Primarina goes down. Crunch does how much to Goodra? That's actually decent damage. That is decent damage there. What we can do is go into Chimecho. We can use Trick Room. And then use Protect with Snorlax. And hopefully Chimecho survives his turn. So yeah, okay. Mega. Trick Room. And then Protect. Okay. Hopefully Goodra uses Shelter so then we can Encore it the next turn. Matcha Gotcha. We are protected. And we do resist with Chimecho. Yep. Does it burn? No burn. Draco Meteor. We should take this. We should take this. Because again, it is resisted. Yep. And we get off Trick Room. We could actually Encore Goodra into Draco Meteor here. We could. Okay, wait. I think what we do is we use Side Shock onto Sinistcha. And then Crunch onto it as well. I mean, Goodra's already at -2 special attack, so there's like no point for Encoring it. Crunch does decent damage there. Matcha Gotcha. Doesn't do too much. Side Shot. Doesn't KO. I think over here we just use Recover, and then we use Crunch onto Sinister again. No swap. Sinister goes down. We use Recover, and we're in a very good position here. Very good position. Flash Cannon, we go down, but Goodra has -2 special attack. There's Recover, and we're basically back to full health. They go back into Zoroark here. Trick Room's up for how many turns? 2 turns here, 2 turns. So, let's use Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, and then... Dark Pulse onto Zoroark. It probably uses Protect. Okay, you know what? Let's just use onto Goodra. Yup, it does use Protect. How much does Goodra take from this? Probably not that much. Yeah, not really that much. Flash Cannon, we should take this. Yeah. Dazzling Gleam isn't Stab, so I'm not expecting it to do too much to Goodra. Yep. Okay, over here, let's use Side Shock onto Zoroark. And then Destiny Bond with Spiritomb. Yeah. Trick Room's up for one more turn. So, we're basically, again, sort of guaranteed to get Trick Room up here. Even though Goodra can't really KO us here, but still. Flash Cannon is not doing enough. Goodra still has -2 special attack, so I mean, yeah, the game's basically done from here, and they forfeit. Guys, let me know what you think of Mega Chimecho in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.